How's it going, everybody? CJ here, back in another video. We'll do another first thoughts today. This first thought is on Jadzi, Oracle of Arcavios. Before we hop into that, just want to say Happy Easter to all of you guys that celebrate Easter. And also wanted to say, sorry about no videos being posted yesterday. I have been trying to grind these out and I wanted to take a break day. And I ended up going through all my bulk rares. I got like binders of bulk rares. And every once in a while I'll go through and pull out cards to sell that have gone up in price. Make sure you check your bulk rare binder, because I pulled out like $2,500 worth of what was at one point bulk. So, and that's in cards that are worth $2 or more. So make sure you check that stuff out. Make sure you check what you got. And also, let me know in the comment section down below how you like the new logo, because as long as I remember to do so, new logo should be implemented at this point. Woo! Also, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Check us out on Patreon if you want to support the channel. Check us out. Check out the TCG Player affiliate link down below if you want to support the channel. If you're going to buy any of the cards I talk about in this video, buy them through there. Helps with the channel. Twitch and Twitter are down below. And the Pokemon channel also down below. I think it's going to be, I don't know, I might do it this weekend for the next video, or I might hold it off until the end of Commander spoilers, because that way I get more traffic to the channel and I have more than just one vote. Thank you, Arbor, for my starter. But yeah, we're going to hop into this now. Jadzi, Oracle of Arcavios. This card is very, very powerful. And, but before I get into it too much, I just want to say, so the original, like the images that I have here are the correct images. The images that were posted originally on Reddit, like the originally spoiled ones, had the wrong mana cost on the front side of the card for the back side, like at the bottom corner. That mana cost was wrong. It had it as 1 and 2 green as opposed to 2 and 2 green. So the correct mana cost of the back side is 2 and 2 green. Just so you guys know. But this card is very synergistic with itself. It's just a very powerful Simic commander. It's cool. It's very, very cool. So you use the back side to ramp up into the front side, and once you cast the back, you get a lot of lands in your hand. You start ramping. Then once you can get 8, including the ones in your hand and ones in play, you cast the back side, put 8 lands into play, discard a card to bring the sorcery to your hand so you avoid commander attacks, and then cast it the next turn and just go nuts. This card's cool. Also, the fact that both sides have the discard to return to hand, so the front side can protect itself that way, and the back side, you can protect your sorcery by returning it to your hand so you don't have commander attacks. This card's very, very, very good. And thank God it has the option to put it to hand, because it's already 8 mana for the front side, so yikes. Yeah, what else we got in here? You're going to want to load the deck up. Like, this deck, honestly, I can see this deck being very, very powerful. Literally, if you just have pretty much all of the good ramp, all of the good instant and sorcery based land ramp in the deck. Just everything. Just overwhelm the deck with a ton of it. Because it'll thin your deck it'll thin your deck for the late game. In the late game, it'll give you instants and sorceries to trigger Jadzi. And yeah, so you just load the deck up with a ton of land-based instant and sorcery ramp, and then bombs. And that's all you really need. You can just load the deck up 50% ramp, 50% bombs, and just ramp out and then start dropping bombs like crazy. That seems like a lot of fun. Also, MDFCs, the modal double-faced cards, seem very good in this deck, especially the ones that are lands on the backside and instants on the front side, or instants and sorceries on the front side, like the Balagad Recovery and others. There'll be others on the screen over here, but those work very well in the deck, because if you need to get Jadzi out and you want to cast the backside, you got lands. While you also have instants and sorceries that can trigger the front side. So they work very well with both sides. So even ones that aren't super synergistic in the deck might be good to run. One of the good ways that you can play this deck is like a Spellslingery Storm deck, because whatever you cast or copy an instant or sorcery, that doesn't mean so whenever you cast or copy an instant sorcery, you can cast the top card of your library by paying 1. So if the top card of your library is an instant, and you cast it, then that triggers Magecraft again. So you can just kind of storm off the top of your library and cast a bunch of instant sorceries and chain them all together and, yeah, just go nuts. That seems like a pretty good game plan. And you can do that even easier. Like, what you're going to want to do is throw in a lot of cheap instant sorceries, especially ones that draw cards or are rituals. Can't think of many rituals, though, inside Simic, but there's got to be a couple, right? But even if there aren't, you can, instead of using rituals, just card draw, and then you use cards like Baral, Arcane Melee, Cloud Key, either Medallion, Helm of Awakening, the Immortal Sun, and Jace's Sanctum. All of those will make the one cost 0. So you can just flip, 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 flip until you hit a land. And then when you do hit a land, you cast something from your hand, and then you just flip again. That seems like a very powerful strategy. And all those cards seem very, very good in this deck. Plus, if you get infinite mana, you'll have infinite storm because you can just cast the backside an infinite number of times and then play a storm card. So that seems very powerful. And some of the easy ways to do that in Simic, you got Freed from the Real plus Bloom Tender, or Deadeye Navigator plus Palancron. It seems like a good game plan there. And then you're also going to want to be able to manipulate the top of your library, so that way you can make sure that you're hitting your instants and sorceries or whatever bombs you want to drop into play. So you can use stuff like Sensei's Divining Top, Scroll Rack is amazing, recently reprinted, you should get your copies before they go up too high. Soothsaying is an underrated card, and Sylvan Library, just all around a great card, and very good at manipulating the top of your library. Next I want to talk about some of the big dumb stuff that you can just put into play off this ability. And, I mean, this is one of those things that, like, what I say is just ideas. Like, you can take it however you want to. Like, you can thematicize the deck however you want. But some of the generally good things that you can do, you can drop, like, Eldrazi into play, like Ulamog, Kozilek, Emrakul. Seems pretty good. You've got extra turns. So you can just keep chaining extra turns and then have a chain of extra turns. Like, because you can cast an extra turn spell off Jadzi and flip into another one and flip into another one and then get like 4 extra turns for like 4 mana. That seems very good. Like Time Stretch, Temporal Manipulation, Expropriate, Time Warp, Nexus of Fate, all those. Just especially Nexus of Fate because that shuffles back in. That seems very powerful. You get the Praetors being Jin-Gitaxias and Vorinclex, particularly the original Vorinclex, because the new one doesn't do much in this deck, but the old one is, powerful. Throw in Omniscience, just so you can just dump your hand into play. And you can toss in Ugin and just go nuts with Ugin or Karn, like just Tron it up. And you can throw in Terastodon or some stuff similar to that, where you can just like blow up your opponent's lands. That seems solid. Next up, I want to talk about Sunder. This card seems very powerful in the deck. So what you do is you just float 4 mana, cast Sunder, bounce all your lands to your hand. Everyone bounces all their lands to their hand, and then you cast the backside of Jadzi and put all your lands back into play. So you're on like turn 8, and your opponents are on turn 0. That's extremely powerful magic right there. That's like land destruction, but you have a clear advantage. It's mass land destruction that gives you a very, very clear advantage and a route to win. So that's good. That's very powerful stuff there. You can throw in Mana Severance, so you can toss in like a lot, so that way you can, once you get enough lands, you can cast Mana Severance, pull all the lands out of your deck, and then every time you flip with Jadzi, it's a hit. That seems pretty solid. You can throw in Nyla's Intervention, Rites of Spring, and Boundless Realms, just so you can get a lot of lands into your hand or into play very fast. Nyla's Intervention seems very powerful in this deck. I'm a big fan of that card. And Rites of Spring also, just good. And lastly, one of the little funnier things you can do with this deck is you can make her a Moonfolk tribal deck. Because Moonfolk love to bounce lands to your hand. And this is a way to just put lands into play in the command zone. So you just kind of ramp out into 8 mana, so that way you don't have to deal with commander attacks. And just keep bouncing lands, putting lands into play, returning the sorcery to your hand, and doing that over and over again. That seems very powerful. Plus, I believe the backside doesn't say tap, does it? Yeah, does not say tap. So you can kind of go nuts with this. Actually, there's definitely ways you can go infinite with this very, very easily. Like, 100% ways you can go infinite with this thing very easily. But you need to have 8 lands in play, which is not hard to do in Simic. This could be an extremely powerful Moonfolk commander, actually, which is really funny. So, it's Tomer that does Moonfolk inside Commander Clash, right? Make sure you tell Tomer to do Simic Moonfolk. And yeah, that is everything I've got for Jadzi. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Happy Easter. And I'll see you guys next time. Peace out, everybody.